Yo, it's your boy Ringo TV Reactions, back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Getting back at the news, Demetria Spence. She pretty much is the one responsible for killing young Scooter. And that is what they're saying, that she pretty much made a fake 911 phone call for whatever reason, because she was upset. And this just goes to show you, man, when you in these YouTube streets, a lot of these content creators, they be just putting out fake news, talking about bruh man got shot, talking about police trying to hide evidence. Nah, y'all frauds. Y'all be putting out fake content because of Young Thug. Young Thug is the one who said bruh man got shot. Now the question that I got is, why was he running from the law if the phone call was fake? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure that out. Like, how and why would you run if you didn't do nothing wrong? Now, the gender war is going to begin, or should I say increase, because this is a black woman that basically sabotaged this man's life. And it's just sad, man, that another life extinguished because of some wicked woman who was in her feelings and decided to lie. You know what I mean? It's just sad, man. So now, y'all know I made one video about the situation. I said I was going to do a follow-up. But you know, I have to sit back and kind of get the news, find out what's going on, because they had too many fake stories out. You got a lot of YouTubers out here that are publishing clickbait, telling you this, telling you that, telling you cops shot them, they hide in this. All of those content creators are frauds. That's why when you tune into Ringo TV Reactions, we always give you the play-by-play and we provide you the facts. So without further ado, let's get into some of these facts. Let's listen to the 911 call by this woman so we could find out what's going on in these streets. Let's check it out.
House, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a shooting. There was literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They hold the guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Knott Drive?
Yes. And the girl is hurt. because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay. Do you see or hear
She was,
anything else?
yeah, she's trying to get away and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. And he's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house. There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely from her head.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives.
What color shirt and pants do he have on?
Blue, regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business, house, or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. It's like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns. You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage, and then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt. The house, I'm literally...
Now, when you listen to this tape, man, it is very, very clear that this woman is lying. Because the first thing you got to think about, fam, is this. How's she able to identify every little detail? It's like you inside the house with everybody. Like you there fumbling, like your story went. It's like her story made the police look at this situation as a very, very serious situation. But again, the $1 million question I got is, why would young Scooter run if he didn't do nothing wrong? So something is going on here. You know what I mean? Now we're going to examine that tape, but I want you to listen to something else, because there's another tape that was released and we got to get all the info.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman. And I was physically abused multiple times.
If she was abused multiple times, why her story switched up? Because when she was talking to dispatch, she ain't say none of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn. Women out here making up stories, putting brothers in their grave, bro. Like, this is sick, bro. It's why you cats, man, you gotta be careful in these streets. You know? You really got to be careful with what's going on, man. And you got to be careful with these YouTubers, man, because they be putting out a lot of false info. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that like button one time, because over here we don't clickbait you. We don't talk no nonsense. We don't make up no lies. Talking about, oh yeah, you know, the police did this and, you know, he was shot and they just watched him bleed out and all this other mumbo jumbo. They all getting that from Young Thug. You know what I mean? He the one who put that narrative out there, and YouTubers went and ran with it because, you know, they don't got nothing better to do anyway. They don't wait for the news to come out. See, here on Ringo TV, we actually wait for the news to come out. You know, we get the news. We're not into bochinche, gossip, hearsay, none of that mess. We want to report the facts of what took place. And based on the news, right, this woman is responsible for why young Scooter is dead, because she put out a fake report. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe he had a gun on him illegally. Maybe he had some work. Maybe he had something on him that, you know, something at the crib that wasn't right, because they bum rushed the place. So he wasn't expecting that. So this woman basically lined them up. You know? She basically lined them up so that he can die. And that's how easy it is, man. That's how, listen, you gotta watch who around you, man. And I'm pretty sure he know who this woman is. I'm pretty sure he know who this woman is, man. Now, they saying he jumped a fence, punctured his leg somewhere, probably was a major artery, some sort of issue, and he bled out. Just like if you get shot in your leg, you can die pretty fast. You know, that's not a game, man. You get impaled on a fence. That's not a good look, man. You'll bleed out. Literally. Like all your blood will be gone instantly. You won't make it. You know, and because of that, people like, yo, where the body cam footage? Where's this? Where's that? No matter how you see it, you ain't going to be satisfied anyway, because in your mind, you already believe the police had it in for him and whatnot. But right here, we have a situation where this woman made a fake call. I don't see nobody talking about that. I don't see nobody saying, damn, man, that's crazy, man. So she lined them up. I don't see nobody saying nothing. Y'all too busy focusing on police. See, that's because these YouTubers lied to you. These YouTubers told you what they knew you wanted to hear, and you went with that narrative. So now it's like when the truth comes out, it's like, what are you going to do now? You going to continue to blame the cops, or you going to look at the facts? The facts is this woman lied. The facts is she made up a story in order to get a man killed, because she knew that her story was going to get him killed. You know, she knew that them brothers was in that house doing probably something they weren't supposed to do. You know, they probably had things going on in that house that wasn't right. And she knew. Just like a lot of you brothers that be in the streets, you be doing dirt and people be knowing. And then when they get mad because you don't want to put them on, you don't want to get them no work, no money, nothing, they rat you out. They tell the police, yeah, they got something going on at that house. And that's exactly what it was. You see? And it's just a sad situation, man. You know? And that's the situation that I don't understand, is how could dude run? It doesn't make no sense. Why would you run if you ain't do nothing? Do he got any, like, strikes against him? Like, yo, if you get arrested one more time, man, you going down. Like, I don't know this man's history. I don't know what this guy got on his rap sheet, but he probably was scared, bro. And then you know how it is with police banging down doors. He probably feared for his life and just ran. One of them situations. So I really can't judge whether or not what's going on, because I'm not going to make nothing up, because that's not how we move over here. We looking for the facts. Did they find a gun? Did they find this? Because this woman claimed that there was gunshots, 3 gunshots. She claimed somebody was probably XXX trafficking going on. How she know all of that stuff? So she was setting him up the whole time. And now they arrested her based on what's going on at TMZ. You know what I mean? And it's just sad, man. So let me read what's going on with this report here. The medical examiner press report for Kenneth Bailey, April 1st, 2025. It says the office of Fulton County Medical Examiner performed an autopsy on Kenneth Bailey on Saturday, March 29, 2025. Cause of death, penetrating injury of the right thigh. Manner of death, accident. You see that? But YouTubers are going around saying he was shot. You even got YouTubers that made videos today. Even after the reports and the facts came out, YouTubers are still saying he was shot with no facts. And because most viewers are dumbed down and love lies, they go with that narrative. And you can't be dumbed down when facts are presented. Now, of course, you would love to believe that the cops did this and the cops do that, because you already have your mind made up. This is the problem with society. It's like you can give people the truth. They don't want to hear the truth because the lie was already given to them. But when we bring out the facts, all of a sudden, nobody don't care about the woman, even though she lied the whole time. She lied about everything, made it all up to basically kill a man. Breaking news, 31-year-old Demetria Spence arrested by Atlanta police for false 911 call leading to the death of young Scooter. You see that? Now, why would they arrest her for? Why would they arrest an innocent woman if she didn't do nothing wrong? Why would they arrest her if police are the ones who shot him down? Which that's the so-called narrative you wanted to believe at first. Due to these lying-ass YouTubers who's always clickbaiting for the clicks and the views. That's why I wait in the shadows and then I report the news when information come out. Because this story, from when it first dropped, it was kind of weird the way it was being presented. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not jumping on the bandwagon like everybody else. I'm going to kind of sit back and wait, see what's going on, man. Because a lot of times you go out there and you make videos and you're wrong and then you look stupid. Now you got to come back and tell people the truth and you already done lost all your credibility. So a lot of these content creators, they got it wrong. Lost all their credibility that fast. So make sure you go unsubscribe from all those channels and come on over here and subscribe to this channel. Because we ain't gonna bullshit you. We don't got no time. So now it's basically saying accuracy alert. The Atlanta Police Department is aware of inaccurate comments and social media posts regarding the death of Kenneth Bailey. See, they're aware of all of these posts. Now, I'm gonna tell you, content creators, something. Sooner or later, I'm gonna let you know this now. Sooner or later, it's gonna be a crime for us content creators to report stuff that is false. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Before the law is pretty much out there, it's going to be a law. It's going to be a rule. It's going to be something on social media that's going to be really, really big. It's going to affect everybody's channel. I'm going to tell you right now, sooner or later, there's going to be something passed that is going to put a lot of content creators in prison for making false videos. Do you understand? You're going to be in prison and it's going to happen. It's going to be very, very serious. I mean, technically, it's already here. At the same time, it's not being enforced. So they're going to put new rules in place that YouTube going to roll out, Instagram, all these sites. Well, maybe not TikTok because they're going to be shut down pretty soon. I don't know if y'all heard about that. But if y'all continue to put out these clickbaits and these lies just to get these clicks and these views, this is why I always tell the viewer, make sure you do a Google search first. Before you listen to these YouTubers, go on Google and do a search first. If you don't see no info popping up about, oh, they arrested this person and that person got killed, and yeah, the homie so-and-so got shot because of the get back of such and such who was dead. And if you don't see nothing on Google, that content creator is a devil and they're lying. You understand? So now it says the Atlanta Police Department is aware of inaccurate comments on social media posts regarding the death of Kenneth Bailey. See, on my platform, there is no inaccurate comments of anything regarding this man's death. From day one, when I went live, I was more focused on like, damn, another black man dead, another rapper. What the heck is going on? And I ain't make no judgments, right? But the Atlanta Police Department is aware of all these YouTubers who are making these false videos. It says, while we understand that many people are saddened by his passing, it is important to recognize that Atlanta police officers neither discharged their firearms nor used any force against Mr. Bailey. And see, that's the problem when you listen to these YouTubers going out there saying, oh yeah, the police did this and the police did that. And what that does, it causes more bloodshed and more hate, because now you start blaming officers that had nothing to do with nothing. And when they were just out there probably just doing their job, but now people starting to look at the police in a bad light because of something that Young Thug put out there, you know? And because he's a rapper, y'all went with the narrative with no facts. It says the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office issued the following press report regarding their findings. So basically they told us that the cause of death was penetrating injury of the right thigh. So he bled out due to his own actions of running, jumping a fence, and impaling himself on it. Now, it could be two type of situations that's going on here. He probably jumped over a double fence, meaning you jump over one and you land on top of something else. That could be the kind of fence he jumped over. I don't know if he jumped over a regular fence and just impaled himself. I think he jumped over one fence and there was another fence on the other side waiting for him and he got impaled. Because every one of us brothers know how to jump a fence, man. Come on. And if it's wooden and it have any sort of sharp edges, we know to either be careful or don't even jump that fence at all. I believe he jumped over a fence and was met with a fence on his landing. And that's what happened. Now, they never showed nothing. It would be good if they actually showed, but then again, they would be showing the body. But it would be good to know exactly what kind of fence it was, where it happened. That way we can further investigate if there was any sort of foul play or whatever the case is. Also, we have to look at the response time of when officers was able to locate, Mr. Bailey and find out exactly what happened and call for medical. Because if they didn't locate him right away, you puncture a vital part of your body, man, you're going to bleed out. You're going to pass out. You're going to bleed out. So if he died like that, that's messed up due to this woman putting out a false report, you know? So the real question is, how long did he know this woman? Because she must have hated him very bad. This woman hated him for some reason. I'm hearing rumors, and now notice what I said. I said I heard rumors that she was mad because she wasn't invited somewhere. Now that's just a rumor. Do you understand me? So I'm not trying to create a narrative. I'm letting you know up front what it is because I want to stick with the facts. But what I'm hearing is what I just finished saying. You understand? So now let's listen to this audio. I'm going to break this thing down so we can hear what's going on, man. Because a man lost his life. She going to jail. A lot of people upset. And it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Let's listen to this phone call. I'm going to break it all down, man.
House, I'm literally the neighbors next door. The house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a shooting. There was literally a shooting. The house, I'm literally the neighbors next door. The house.
So she's next door at the neighbor's house. She said there's a shooting. So now that's one story. There's a shooting.
Of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on.
A domestic dispute. So now there's a shooting. That's one situation. Now there's a domestic dispute, right? A domestic dispute.
There's like 7 guys that live in this house.
How did she know there's 7 guys that live in the house? You see what I mean? How does she even know 7 guys are in the house? How does she know that? These are the things that you got to understand, fam.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, tell me.
Notice she never said her name. She never said her name. Dispatch is basically asking her, what's your name? She ain't saying her name.
Exactly what happened?
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch.
Now she's the neighborhood watch. Now she's the neighborhood watch now. Do you see how the story keeps switching up?
And basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house.
So they're selling drugs now. There was a shootout, a domestic dispute. She didn't give her name, right? Now they're selling drugs. Are y'all seeing this? Are y'all hearing this?
You see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding guns in the air.
So they're holding guns in the air. You're the neighborhood watch. You've been the neighborhood watch for how long? And you never reported none of this? Come on, man. She's making the story up, y'all.
And then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now.
Why would she say, I don't know if they're pimping? Why would she say that? Why would she say that? How could she know all this information?
This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl.
So now he's fighting the girl, but there was a shootout that she said. There was a shootout. Now it went to him fighting a girl. And the whole time, she's just looking out the window. Where's the recording of this? Come on, y'all. Where's the recording? See, again, only on Ringo TV, you will get the best breakdowns, y'all. Only here. Nowhere else. Do you understand me? Nowhere else will you get the proper breakdowns of what's going on in these streets. Because what's happening here is, under normal circumstances, if she really saw all the things that she claimed she saw, where's the video? I said, where's the fucking video? Where's the video? We're in 2025. Everybody got phones, right? Everybody always recording, right? Okay, so where's the video? Where's the video? She sounds like a woman who is scorned, guys. A woman scorned. That's what this is. A woman scorned. Made up a story. Lied. That's what she did. Let's get back to the audio tape. Find out what we got.
He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like.
How could she say it sounded like they were fighting over drugs. If she's naked and he threw her out the house, how could she identify what this fight was about? Sounds to me like the woman in question who made the call was angry with him either over drugs, over money, probably didn't get a payment for something. Perhaps she was some sort of 304 that was invited to the crib to entertain the men and probably didn't get her payment. Probably doing some side work on the low. Because she's supposed to be a part of some social media thing called Baddie something along them lines. I did a little research on her. So let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Hold on a second. Let me see if I get this. Let me see if I get this here. Yeah, so if I'm correct, this is supposed to be the woman. This her? Yeah. It's supposed to be her here. So now her life is down the drain now. So she was probably over there with them dudes and probably didn't get her bread. And it's just sad, bro. Her name, I think she go by Demi Blanco. Yeah. She supposed to be affiliated with some, what the hell is this thing called? Something baddies or some mess. But who cares? We'll talk about that another time. Let's get back to the tapes, find out what's going on. Let me take this off the screen. Hit that like button, man. Let's get those likes up.
It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there and they started shooting.
So now it went from him beating up the girl, she naked. Then they started shooting. She had someone come over there. How does she know that the woman that's naked had somebody come over there? How she know this? Now, I don't understand how the dispatcher didn't realize something ain't right. Like, you know, I would have knew right away.
But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely
now the house need to be investigated. Sounds very personal to me. Sounds to me like she know who young Scooter is. Probably had some dealing with him. Maybe he smashed. Maybe, you know, he had some dealings with this woman. And she probably didn't get her paper and was salty about that, man, and said, you know what? I'm going to mess up what you got going on. I'm going to call the cops, let them know what kind of activity y'all got going on here, because you know how it is with some of these rappers. You know what I mean? You never know. They might have something popping on the low. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because here's the thing. For him to run mean only one thing. He had something to run from. Meaning that he was doing something that was illegal. Let's just call it what it is. He had something going down that he didn't want to go to jail for. That's why he ran. You know? Well, we know there's no gunshot because the story is fake. But at the same time, what you have to understand, y'all, is this. When you call the police, right? And you say a woman is being abused or there's gunplay and somebody's bleeding and this and that, the police are going to come there heavy. And it's not going to be a game, no play stuff. It's going to be serious business. Right? Doesn't mean they're going to come there and start shooting innocent people, even though certain situations like that happened in the past. But their focus is really to save somebody that's possibly being abused or hurt. My thing is why dude ran? If the call is fake, we know that. He ran because there was something going on in that house that was going to put him in prison. That is what she was trying to do. I don't personally think that she was trying to get him killed. Like, okay, I want you to die. I believe she wanted him to get in trouble for whatever reason. The reason why I say that is because in her second audio clip, you can hear it in the tone in her voice.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt.
And it's too late. She may have not had any intentions to get him hurt, but her intentions was evil either way. So at the end of the day, she's the reason why he dead, and she got to spend life in prison, if you ask me.
Was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth.
No, you came here to lie. Nobody give a fuck what you got to say, fam. Like, for real, for real. You done killed a man. You out of pocket. You wildin', bro. You got that man killed, and you have the nerve to talk about, you didn't really want no one to get hurt. You made a false report. Think about how many black men are in prison right now. Think about how many black men got their ass beat by police due to a false report from a woman claiming they were getting their tail whooped. And the cops came in hot, beat man up, shot him, tased him, and the whole thing was fake, fabricated, because she was upset that he had some other woman on the side.
That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me.
We know you're a damn liar. That's what we know, so we do know you.
Oh, at the end of the day, I'm a woman. And I was physically abused.
You didn't tell the dispatcher that you were physically abused. So you switched your story. You lied. You lied about everything. And now, young Scooter dead. Now again, I don't know this man's rap sheet. I don't know what kind of dirt he did with his life. I don't know. I'm not here to focus on anything that I don't got the facts for. We can speculate. We can only assume and speculate what we may think and the reason why we're able to assume or speculate is because after all, he ran. Right? So if a man ran, all right, let's say hypothetically they SWAT the house. I'm playing video games. They SWAT the house, bust down the door. I'm not going to run and jump out the window. That's how you get shot. I'm not going to jump out the window and start running. I'm going to be right there with the PlayStation controller like, bro, what the fuck going on, bro? Like, why y'all in my house, bro? And I'm going to try to figure out what's going on by me just staying calm, cool. They're going to have guns drawn, and then they'll be able to figure it out. But, I'm playing the game, bro. Like, damn, man. What the hell, man? I got swatted? Yeah, somebody called, said such and such and such. Like, look, yo, fam, I've been on live the whole time. You see what I mean? But that's not the case with young Scooter. He ran. Now, here's another one. Did they find any drugs in the house? Did they find any illegal activity going on? Because if they didn't find nothing in the house that can stick to him, why he ran? I'm not running if I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not going to run because that's going to only make the cops look at me like I got something to hide. Maybe I got a gun on me. Maybe, I got some drugs, some pills, something. So it's like, damn, if they catch these pills on me, man, I'm done. Career over. I'm going to have problems. You know what? Let me run. Maybe I can get rid of it. Because you ain't hear nobody say, oh, they found drugs on his body, or he had a gun. I didn't hear nothing yet. So why he ran, man? It's one of them things where it's like, damn, why you run, dog? You could have been alive today. You know? Why you ran, fam? Now, what would be, I don't want to say nice. What would be beneficial to this case is if they release body cam footage. I think body cam footage will add a lot of closure to this case because, okay, we know she guilty because she lined them up. We know she did dirt. At the same time, having the body cam footage will also be useful for finding out if law enforcement rendered aid once they saw Mr. Bailey impaled on the fence. I think that would add some clarity to the situation so that we can see, like, okay, the officers was chasing him. Yeah, he jumped the fence, but you could see the officers rendering aid, calling for medic and all of that other stuff, and you could see it firsthand. I think that would add not only more clarity to the case, but also it would vindicate the officers from any wrongdoing. It will clear them of any wrongdoing because you'll see them pretty much pulling up. Now, if they don't want to show no body cam footage, then it's going to only make people speculate even more and be like, yo, y'all must have something to hide. You know? Because now that's going to feed the narrative of, well, maybe young Scooter did get shot and they just trying to cover it up because they realized they shot this black man thinking that he was involved in some sort of crime activity. And then when they realized that homegirl made up the whole story, it's like, yo, y'all done killed this innocent black man. How the fuck y'all gonna clean this shit up? Okay, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that he impaled himself on a fence, and then we'll just put that woman behind bars and say she made up a story. Because we know she made up the story, but we killed him earlier because I'm hearing word. Now, I didn't see nothing, so let me just make that very clear. I never seen no news reports say this. I'm looking at the social media streets and people are saying that the news media, the mainstream media, published that young Scooter was shot. That's what people are saying. I have not seen that. If you got actual proof from a news source, I'm talking about mainstream media with video of them saying young Scooter was shot, send that to me to my Instagram and we'll do a follow-up video. From any major mainstream news outlet, if you heard them say that he was shot, send that to me. Because if the mainstream media publish that, then that's a problem. I don't want to hear shit from Young Thug because Young Thug is Young Thug. Young Thug was not there. And Young Thug, is not the news. Young Thug is not law enforcement. Young Thug is just a ninja with a social media platform. So you can't just go by what he say. We got to go by the facts. I don't want to hear what nothing these damn rappers got to say. Where are the facts? That's what we go by here. The facts, not the rumors, not the gossip and all that other stuff. That's why when I said there's a rumor, I made it very clear because I don't want you to mix up the rumor with the facts. The facts is this woman lied. So we know she lined them up and wanted him to be harmed in some way. Maybe she wanted him to die. Because you know how it is with police. If they hear that a black man is beating a woman up and she bleeding and there's some gunshots, they're going to come in hot and ready to take the dude out. So again, it could be a situation that, and I'm just speculating, it could be a situation where they got the 911 call from the woman and they said to themselves, Yo, 7 black men at one house, guns, woman being abused. Let's crash the party, find out what's going on. Anybody move, is on and popping. It could have been a situation like that where maybe bruh man ran out, probably had something in his hand. They thought it was a gun, and they just opened fire. And then when they examined the tapes, they realized the woman was lying, but he was already shot and dead. They knew they were gonna face backlash from the public, so they probably just said, you know what, let's clean this story up because we don't want the people to go crazy. There have been many crimes that happened where it was covered up, and don't think for a minute that the media, medical examiners, and everybody else is exempt from covering things up. At the same time, I'm just using that as like playing devil's advocate because, again, why would Mr. Bailey run? $1 million question. If you didn't do nothing wrong, there's no need to be running. And y'all should never trust no young thug. I mean, how could a young thug come online and be like, yo, my friend, he got shot, and y'all run with it? Where he got that info from? And and again, that's if there were 7 guys at the house. I doubt there were 7 guys at the house. I think she just made that up. It could be a situation where he was the only one at the house, or perhaps there was other people there, because I didn't go that deep into the story. I just focus on the relevant information that is new, that makes sense. Because I don't want to focus on stuff that's a waste of our time, something that's old. But let me get back to that tape so we could continue reviewing.
Boy, so they're doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How could she know they're doing illegal stuff over there? That would mean that she was monitoring them for a while. So whoever this woman is, she's fully aware of how young Scooter was moving and the kind of activity he was in. And for whatever reason, she got tired and decided to rat him out. You know? This is why, what's this dude name, man? The hell is this guy name, man? I'll remember later.
There.
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
It's happening now, but you ain't hearing no gunshots in the background. And she ain't recording nothing. Come on, y'all. Everybody know when something's going down in today's day. People recording everything. She ain't got no recordings. If there's gunshots going on and you right next door, it would be heard on the phone. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's why Hassan Campbell always telling y'all to basically watch your circle, watch the people around you before they hurt you. This is a clear-cut case of that, man. I'm telling you. Young Scooter know this woman. He know who she is, but he dead. He know who she is. Guaranteed, he knows.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're
that's
coming
why
from 273 William Now Drive?
That's not, yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely. Like,
how could she know the girl was bleeding profusely? And if she's the one who's supposed to be the victim, why she didn't just tell dispatch, hey, it's me? So she was lying the whole time, y'all.
blood everywhere.
How does she know blood is everywhere? That means she would have to be close by. How could she know? And when police got there, did they find blood everywhere? Come on, man. So there gotta be a reason why this guy is dead. And like I said, it could be a situation where they came there. It's like, hold up, where the blood? Where the body at? Where the gunshots? What? Oh, snap, yo, did we kill this man? And it was a false report, yo, we got to clean this up, y'all. This is not looking good. It could be a situation like that. But then again, if it is, if it's not, let us just see the body cam footage. Shouldn't be much to give the body cam footage. That's why I said the body cam footage is in order right now. Because I believe the narrative that she lined them up. At the same time, Young Thug put out a narrative that people went with. So the people really believe that police shot him and they're just covering it up. Right now, nobody is focused on anything else. They really believe the police did it. So now, in order for the police to be cleared, they're going to have to release the body cam footage. That's the only way. If not, the narrative Young Thug put out there is going to stand. In the court of public opinion, you got to understand how social media work. This is why it's very dangerous when you listen to content creators. Whoever put out the news first, whoever put out the stories is normally going to get the viewer to believe either the truth or a lie. So when the story originally dropped, I didn't want to come out to say anything yet. That's why I told you in my first video, I said, I'm not here to judge the man. I don't know nothing about this dude. You know what I mean? All I know is that, somebody lined them up to kill him. You know what I mean? Somebody did something to hurt this dude. And I'm also getting word, I don't know if it's true, but I'm hearing that dude had a daughter. That's what I'm hearing, that he had a daughter. So now she's without a father. All because of this woman right here. And I don't even know where her social media is. If somebody got her social media page, send me her social medias. Because if she's arrested, then the material is still on her page right now. Shout out to Tasha for the $100 support. Sponsoring the show heavy. Appreciate the love and the support. Again, shout out to Tasha for the support, fam. Appreciate the love and the support. Let me put that up over here, man. For real, for real. Tasha came through. For real. I really believe that this dude know her, man. And again, if you got her social medias, because I found some Instagram page, but I don't see no videos or nothing there. I got an Instagram page called Demi Blanco. Let me see. Yeah, I got an Instagram page, Demi Blanco, Sexy Red Academy, something like that. I don't know. She only got 43 followers. I don't know if that's her page or, let me check. Let me see. Let me check when this account was created. May 2023 it joined. I don't know if that's her official page. She probably got another one because where she was posting this audio, I don't know. Maybe on Twitter. I don't know where. You know what I mean? She posted somewhere. This is crazy, man. Put that over there. So, and she said, great work, Ringo. So again, appreciate you, Tasha, for the support. Appreciate it. Shout out to Jonah TV for Life for the 5 support. And shout out to, I think it was it Forever Studios? I think it was Forever Studios. Let me see. I think it was Forever Studios that gifted people memberships. I don't see the post, but I think it was Forever Studios. Yeah, it was Forever Studios. Shout out to Forever Studios for gifting 5 people with memberships. Right, so, hey, let's get back to the tape. Let's see what else we got. Let me rewind it back a little bit.
So I believe the girl is hurt,
And
and
they're
that's why
coming from
they,
273 William Now Drive.
that's not, yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
If she was breathing profusely, she'll be dead. She would pass out. She'll be dead. First, you pass out. When you start losing a lot of blood, you pass out, man. Yeah. So she's lying.
Okay.
How could she be bleeding profusely if she wasn't shot? Because you never said that she was shot. She said that the dude was fighting with her outside. So how is she bleeding profusely? Come on, man.
Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside.
So he's fighting her outside, but nobody else in that community called the police. See, these are the type of things that dispatch supposed to pick up on. If I'm dispatch and there's a big commotion, somebody called 911 telling me this story, I'm looking out for other 911 calls. So nobody in that community heard or seen anything. There's no witnesses. There's nothing. Come on, man. It's a fake call.
And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door.
So you're watching all of this before calling, but you didn't record nothing. It's fake, people. And this is how a lot of black men end up killed, man. This is why, as a man, if you know you're innocent, just stay cool, man. Just don't run. Don't run from the cops, man. It's gonna only get bad, man. Don't run. If you know you didn't do nothing wrong, just chill, man. You might get nervous, but if you just stay cool, the cops will be cool. But remember, when they come there, they come in there with the mindset that there's a shooting, there's guns involved, drugs, possible victims. So they're on edge. So you got to really be cool in order to get out of that situation safe. You know, just be cool.
Literally fighting. She's trying to get out. He's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house. There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Now you know it's fake because it's like whoever that woman is, they're basically, let me explain exactly what she's doing. She's trying to get him killed. She was trying to get him killed. Because now she switched the story up to now there's a child involved. The child is in danger. She's making the situation urgent. In other words, this guy needs to be put down. This guy is endangering the welfare of a child. This guy is beating a woman. This guy most likely have a gun. He's extremely dangerous. The house may be involved in some sort of XXX trafficking. Maybe they're pimping the woman. She's naked. So the story she created is so bad. It'll make any officer that approach the scene be on edge because they're expecting the worst. They don't know what to expect. So their guns are most likely drawn. You understand? Because you can't tell me that the cops just approached that house and they didn't have guns drawn. Now, check this out. You ready for this one? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this one. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this one. I'm going to tell you what happened. Now, this is just me speculating now, but this is what I believe. I believe that when the cops pulled up, they got to the house and they may have let off a couple of rounds. It's just me. That's just my take. Because of the story that was given to them, they were on edge and came in hot. That is what made Mr. Bailey run, because he's not going to sit there and wait to die. You get what I'm saying? It could have been a situation like that where they just ran. They didn't want to wait there to die. You know? I don't see what else could it have been. If you think about it, I don't know what else it could have been. I believe that when they came in hot. Probably saw him, probably saw a couple of other guys. They didn't know what to do, and they probably discharged their weapons. Maybe they didn't hit nobody, but I believe those weapons were discharged. And it led to a chase. And in the process of them chasing this man down, that is probably when he either injured himself, which I really never heard of in the history of chases. I never heard of anybody killing themselves while running from the cops. I never heard of nothing like that, to be honest. You know? Well, yeah, it would be recorded if it's on the body cam. That's why the public is wanting body cam footage. Again, if the body cam footage is released, it'll shut down all the rumors, all the speculation, because you'll see all the officers when they arrive to the scene. So we'll know if guns was really discharged or not. We'll know. And see, if they don't release body cam footage, then the public is going to believe there was a cover-up. No matter what I say, no matter what anybody say, the public will believe that there may have been a cover-up, no matter how you see it. You know? They're going to believe it. They're going to believe it no matter what I say, because it's like, why are y'all hiding? Why are y'all hiding the truth? I mean, they release body cam footage for everything else, right? So what's going on? Where's the body cam footage? What if, hypothetically speaking, Young Thug is right? What if he's right? What if he got inside scoops on what really happened from someone that was at the crib? You see? Because why would he put that out there? So, again, we're trying to put the puzzle together, y'all. That's the whole point of the content, is to put the puzzle together. Now, of course, what Young Thug had to say is a rumor. That's a rumor. That's him speculating on what's going on. At the same time, where and how did he come to that conclusion? Somebody had to inform him about something. He just couldn't just say that. You know? What are you talking about? It's supposed to be released today. What are you talking about? It's supposed to be released today. What are you talking about? Oh, you out, Zandra? You out? All right, so you take care. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you stopping by. If you're talking about the autopsy stuff, we already reported on that, fam. We already talked about that already. I already published that info already. It's not new. We already talked about that. You know? Lila said at Ringo TV, a lot of these women know what can happen to a brother when they cry wolf. And just like the Bible says, it can be your own. This sick behavior reflects really bad on women. That's why I said the gender war is going to increase because of this situation, because now it brings up a lot of issues Black men face on the regular when it comes to reports from women calling the police. I mean, a man could be with his old lady having an argument, and he know if she called the police, it could get really bad for him. Every Black man knows that. And every Black woman should know that if you call the cops on a Black man, that may be the last day he live. Because if you call them and say, he's beating you, when the cops come, they're not going to be friendly. especially if they got issues with black men. They're not going to be friendly. You see? So that was like his death wish right there. Her calling the police to complain and make up all these allegations and all these lies. And then to add insult to injury, she put children into it too. Said a child is in danger. That's a recipe for disaster. You know? Let me see. She stated, them lies, and I don't believe ish now. What she said in the new video clip playing victim, yo, it's a sad I miss. Well, yeah, she's playing that she's the victim. She's claiming that she's the one that was being abused. But she never told dispatch that, so she's lying. If you're really in danger, you're not going to waste any time. You're going to tell dispatch, hey, I'm the woman. I'm being hurt, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't want it to look like she's the one because she's making a prank call. You understand? She's trying to SWAT the house so that cops can go up there and interrupt Mr. Bailey and his people, or whoever was at that house. She knew what she was doing. That's why she ain't give out her name. You know? It's just unfortunate that he lost his life in the process.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely.
She's naked and she's bleeding profusely, man. Come on, man. She's lying, man.
Like from her head.
Okay.
So she's bleeding profusely, but she's walking around naked. She's not on the floor hurt. She's just walking around, right?
Can you give me a description of the male?
This is interesting because you can clearly see what young Scooter looked like. You can clearly see. So let's listen to her description of who he is.
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic?
A low haircut? What? Wait a minute. Let's
caramel
go.
complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives. I believe.
What color shirt and pants
do
he have on?
Blue, regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt.
Now, what was young Scooter wearing when he died? See, these are the type of questions that need answers because she said what kind of pants he got on. She said he have a low haircut. Do he look like he have a low haircut? So the description don't match him, so why he run? See, again, man, we need the body cam footage, y'all. We need the body cam footage. We know she set him up. We know that. At the same time, she could be the fall girl in the whole situation. We need the body cam footage. We need to prove whether or not the cops didn't have nothing involved in this, man. We need to know if there's any foul play. We got to have the body cam footage, guys. The body cam footage is needed. As much as I go by the facts of what we got, I think that there's a possibility. There's a possibility that they could have just arrested her just to do it, to kind of get the focus off everybody else. We need the body cam footage, fam. We need that footage. Because listen, she's not describing, she's not describing Scooter. She's describing somebody else. So how he end up dead? Again, something's going on, man. Because he can't be the guy that's doing the nonsense. He didn't do nothing to nobody. He didn't beat up no woman. So how he end up dead and why he ran?
Regular like t-shirt.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her.
So You mean to tell me she's looking at all of this and telling dispatch that he's hitting her, but she ain't record nothing yet. She didn't record nothing. Again, I don't care what nobody say, fam. If somebody's describing all of that horror and they don't got nothing on tape showing it, man, I ain't believing nothing they got to say.
And it's a child involved.
Now there's a child involved.
There is like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns.
They all have guns now. Now everybody in the house got guns. How does she know everybody got guns? Dispatch should have already knew that whoever this woman is, she's probably making up a fake story in order to get someone killed. Come on now. It's one thing to have a woman and she just called the cops on you because she's upset. But it's another thing, man, when a woman called the cops on you and tell you that you beating a woman up and she's bleeding, kids are in danger, guns are going off, women are naked and trapped and held against their will. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair.
Light-skinned female, black hair. Now, when cops got to the location, did they find a light-skinned female with black hair? You see? So they most likely did their investigation and realized nobody was there. You see that? They realized nobody was there. And that automatically put them in a crazy situation because she's the one who lined them up. She lined them up for whatever reason. Probably a woman scorn, probably went to the house to strip. I don't know her situation. Is she a stripper? I don't know what she do, fam. But it could have been a situation where she ain't get her bread. Something happened and she ain't get her money. And she just said, you know what, man? I'm going to mess up everything these guys got going on. And for whatever reason, because young Scooter was at the crib, he probably was caught up. Maybe it had nothing to do with him. Maybe she wasn't even trying to line him up. Maybe it was somebody else that was at the house and Scooter was there. You never know how the situation play. Or maybe he know her. But what she wanted was for the cops to pull up at that house, which is dirty, man. That's nasty work. Right? Let's get back at the tape.
She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage. And then there was a baby involved.
Now they're holding her hostage, and there's a baby involved. Are you seeing how she switched? It went from there's a child, now there's a baby involved. She's trying to get the police to come in hot at the location. You got to understand what I mean by hot. I was watching a video the other day. I might do a reaction to it. It was with a video of a woman. Her boyfriend broke up with her. So because her boyfriend broke up with her, she decides to call the cops. She calls the cops and she tells the cops that, yeah, he was hitting me, blah, 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 all this other mess. The cops came in hot, ready to go at him. And guess what happened? They end up arresting the woman. She got arrested the same day. You know why? Because the story was fake. She was trying to get the boyfriend locked up for some domestic violence. But when the cops did a thorough investigation on the site, they realized that she was full of shit. Her story wasn't adding up. Could be the same situation with this woman, fam.
So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her.
You see that? This situation is really serious. He's punching her. You see what she's doing? This situation is really serious. He's punching her. She want the cops to come there so that they could kill him. That's what she wanted, man.
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic.
Why would she say it looks like they're running some sort of XXX trafficking? Why would she say that? Again, it's to make the police come there with the intent to use excessive force. That's what she's doing. You know? It's just sick, man. Absolutely sick. Because the second tape that was released, man.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself.
How could she call to protect herself by lying? None of this stuff it don't make no sense, man. She lied. Complete lies. Let's go back.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because...
Hold up, wait. She said this is part A. You guys only have part B? What? Wait a minute.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because...
This is not making no sense. So part B is her making the fake call. No, that's part A. Part B is you acting and playing like the victim. This is crazy, man. She's a narcissist, bro. Straight up narc.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called.
You never told cops that you were being abused. You said it was some other woman. You lied.
To protect myself.
How you protecting yourself by lying and causing another man to get killed?
That's the issue.
And if you are being abused, where's all the marks? Where's the cuts? Where's the bleeding profusely? Where's all of the abuse that you claim?
That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt.
So where's all your injuries if you were getting hurt? Where's the injuries? Where's the injuries if you were getting hurt? Where's the injuries?
And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages. Y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman.
And that's what makes it sad, is that you're a black woman and you basically caused this man to lose his life. And now it only adds more fuel to the gender war, where black men been making content talking about how women be lining brothers up, calling the law, calling police. And now we have a situation right here where a man was put to death because a woman made a call that was false, which put him in a situation where he had to run. And like I said, I would really love to see the body cam footage, man. Not necessarily of him bleeding out on a fence. And if they were to post that, they should blur the actual, graphic footage. But we need to see that body cam footage is very important right now for the case. If we don't got that, the court of public opinion is going to continually believe that the police covered something up. Now, again, I agree we need to see the tapes. I don't agree with Young Thug, even though he say the dude got shot. I'm not going with the hearsay. We need accurate information, guys. We need accurate information, because if not, we could be blaming people that didn't do anything wrong. Right? You might not be too fond of law enforcement. At the same time, due to the history we've witnessed over the years, it looks like some foul play may have happened. So, in defense of Young Thug, we need to see body cam footage. But the body cam footage will tell us everything. You know? And I'm not talking about edited body cam footage. I'm talking about raw footage from the minute the officers got on the scene all the way to when they caught up with Mr. Bailey and either rendered aid or called the medics. Now, if we see on the body cam footage the cops not rendering no aid, then the cops need to be investigated and brought up on charges, because if a man is literally, if they could have saved him and they just ignored him and let him just bleed out, then they should go down for that. We need the body cam footage, man. We need that footage. The footage is going to clear up a lot of stuff that we're dealing with right now, because we know she's guilty. We know she's a damn devil. At the same time, we need to find out what was going on in the mind of young Scooter when he was running. We need to understand what was happening. Is there any surveillance? Is there any ring camera footage? Is there any neighboring houses that have footage? Somebody got something, man. Come on now. Somebody got something. There got to be some footage floating around somewhere. Somebody got the footage. We need those tapes so we can understand, why would he run? In order for him to run, he had to have something on him that was illegal. So there could be a possibility that maybe there could be some foul play to this situation. Maybe. I don't know if there is, but there could be some foul play to the story.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B.
She already snitched on herself right there, because she's saying that something about setting dude up. You snitched on yourself, man. Yeah, this is crazy, man. She literally just told on herself before going to prison, before going to getting locked up.
Part B, and the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt.
That's crazy.
And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman. And I was physically abused multiple times. There's a reaction for every.
That's the person that just came to my live chat trolling. You posting the N-word. Are you proud of yourself? Rico, Cuba. Are you proud of yourself? I'm telling you, man, some of you cats, I don't even know why you exist. But we're going to make you famous. Let's get back at the tapes.
Every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything.
Wow.
All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all.
Oh, we do know you. We know that you're a liar. We do know that, right? We do know that you fabricated information. We know that too. And we know that you're arrested. So now what? Was it worth it? You just threw your whole life away. You're supposed to have had some sort of career or something. She was involved in something on social media. So it's like now she's going to jail. People be just throwing their lives away, bro. Well, we talked about that already, that maybe he was running for his life, because we mentioned that maybe the law enforcement came in heavy. They came in on level 10, and they probably came into that house looking for somebody and probably opened fire, and the dude probably just got scared and ran. You know what I'm saying? So he could have been running for his life. And you know how it is when you run as a black man, you must be involved in something wrong. And they probably just kept shooting and thinking maybe he got a child with him or maybe whatever. So it's one of them situations where it probably went left. That's why I said we need the body cam footage. That's what we need. The body cam footage is going to answer all these questions. You know? We need that footage. If they don't provide the body cam footage, then people are going to continually believe that law enforcement covered it up and maybe somebody did shoot this man. And they had to cover it up because look, people might end up protesting, tear the city up. It might be real bad, man. So they had to try to clean it up. I don't know. One of them type of situations, man. You know? Let me see what we got. Need to know why she called the cops. Was he pimping you out? Extortion? Well, my take on the situation is that she called the cops because she was salty. She was in her emotions. This is something that women suffer from, man. Women suffer from letting their emotions make them do things without counting the cost of the consequences. This is something that I see women do all the time. They do things out of emotions and they don't realize someone can get hurt very bad. But they do what they do out of emotions. You know? So she could have been upset about something. She could have been salty. Maybe he didn't give her her break. Maybe she didn't get payment. Maybe she was stripping. Maybe she was at a little house party thing and came over there to do a little something. Like I said, I don't know what kind of work she do, but she's into something with baddies or something. I don't know what the hell it is. Does it involve stripping? Is she an OnlyFans person? I don't know what it is, man, but maybe she didn't get paid. And she decided to drop the location and dox the house and send SWAT team over there. You know? There got to be a motive, and that got to be the motive right there. Anytime a woman call cops on a black man, that black man's life is in danger. One of the worst things you can get, guys, is a woman calling the cops on you. It's the worst thing that can happen to you as a black man. I don't wish it on none of you. When a woman called the cops on you, you're good as dead. Chances is you might not make it out alive, no matter how you see it. So if you're with a woman and she called the cops, you need to leave her right away. Don't ever keep a lady in your life that called the police on you. That's one thing I cannot deal with. Relationship is over after that. You call the cops on me, relationship is over. You know, over. Because that means you're trying to kill me. You know? That's the same thing with Emmett Till. Because he whistled at a white woman, they killed a kid. Make it make sense. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to move on emotion. But women are governed by their emotions. This is why a woman need a man in her life that's going to help to tame those emotions so that she can understand how to make a rational decision based on logic. A woman left to herself will always make decisions based on emotions and get herself in trouble every single time. That's why a woman need a man in her life to lead her, because he'll begin to guide her the right path and teach her not to respond based on your emotions, because it's going to always get you in trouble. This is why so many young black men are killing one another today, is because they were raised in a single mother household, and the men are very emotional because their mom raised them to be that way. So the young men think like women now. They only react based on emotion. So as soon as something happens, first thing they think about is, I got to go kill somebody. You know, they don't think about talking about the situation, hashing it out, resolving stuff, reconciling. They don't think about none of those things. First thing first is, I got to go get my gun and kill somebody. Right? Well, she did. That's what she did. She swatted the house. That's what we talked about earlier. She caused the house to get swatted. You know? And that's pretty much that. But for what reason? Because either he owed her money, you know, somebody at that house, somebody owes somebody something. I just never heard of a dude running from police and end up killing himself on a fence. It just sounds fake. I know that. And a lot of you that don't believe that narrative, I can understand why you don't believe that narrative. It don't sound normal. I gotta admit it. I gotta see that, fam. I gotta see the video. I gotta see that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that a man running from the police just kills himself on a fence. I don't believe that. At the same time, that's the official story, so I got to report the story as it is. You know what I mean? What I do know, that's a fact, that she made up a story. I need to see the footage, because there are two narratives at play here, and we need to find out which one is accurate. So we need the body cam footage. If the police can't provide the body cam footage, guys, then if you believe that he was shot, I can't blame you for believing it, because there's no other way for you to have any closure. I mean, with all of the recent stories and shootings and killings, I mean, you never know who's setting this up, man. They could have just arrested her because, hey, we need somebody to take the fall. They probably been knew. Here's the thing. When they got that 911 call from her, if they killed bruh man because of her phone call, then they had every intentions of wanting to kill him. It's when they realized her call was fake, and they realized, man, we got to clean this one up. If we go to the public and say we killed this man over a fake phone call, we're done. So we got to clean this mess up. We got to clean this one up. That's what I'm saying. We need the footage. You know, if we get that video from the officers that was on site, it'll solve all these issues. We will be able to agree to disagree, or just have closure to the case to realize, yo, those officers got to go down, man. They shot him. Because now it'll bring heat on the entire department. It'll bring heat on the media. It'll bring heat on the city if it finds out that those officers really killed the man by shooting him. And like I said, even though I can't take Young Thug's comments as facts. What if he's right? What if he's right? What if he got inside reliable sources? Remember, he's in the industry. He's in the streets. He can have a reliable source that put him on game. Like, yo, fam. Yo, they shot bro. What? Yeah. Check it out. They shot him, bro. They lying about it in the public. But they shot him. He could have inside info that we just not privy to have. Remember, he got connections in the streets. Somebody probably got some info, some footage, something. Somebody probably leaked some info that he can't release it because you know how that go in the streets. You can't release certain info because they're gonna want to know how you get a hold of that. So they might have dismissed his initial take on the situation, but there could be some truth to it. So, although I can't use it, I could use it for the content for us to weigh all the info. But if we get to see the body cam footage and it shows us that there was gunshots being fired, it's a wrap. Because why would the officers come to the location and start shooting? That's probably why this man ran. But see, they're blaming it on her because she made the call. Rightfully so, she made a fake call. At the same time, if the officers came in hot, guns blazing, and that caused Mr. Bailey to run, then it's not just her that needs to be blamed, but also the police. Police got to be blamed too. Because if you cause a man to run because he's fearing for his life and y'all shooting at him as he's running and he jumped over a fence, maybe your bullets didn't hit him, but if you forced that jump, then you as officers need to be held accountable for that situation. You know? And that's crazy, man. I ain't got no email for you. If you got info for me, you send it to my Instagram at Ringo TV Raw on IG. I ain't giving nobody no damn email. You send that info to IG. And if you ain't going to send it there, don't send nothing. Let me see what we got. She even described him as a man with a low haircut. Well, that's not him. He got locks. So that's not the same dude. So that's all false. That's crazy, man. How you here one day and then you dead. And the man died on his birthday. That's what we hearing. That dude died on his birthday? Come on, man. Something ain't right with this, bro. His whole death is not right. How you die on your birthday? That don't make no sense, man. It's like somebody wanted this man dead, bro. Dying on your birthday? I mean, normally I would consider this man to be a blood sacrifice. But then I'm looking at the situation like, well, who would do that? Who? What rapper is connected to him? Who stand to gain? I don't know. So I just look at it as somebody just set him up to kill him. Probably some hate, some jealousy, something, man. But for this to be done by a woman is it's nasty work, man. Dying on your birthday, man. That don't look like a setup though, man. Like, well, it is a setup because she did it. Again, if anybody got her social medias where she posts content like videos, whatever the case is, we got to find out if he knew her. We need to find out. Have these two ever been around? That's what we need to know. Need to find out more info. Because she did him dirty, bro. She did that man nasty. But why would he run? Why would you run? Why would young Scooter run? What would be the motive of running? We need the body cam footage, man. We need that footage, bro. We need the footage, man. Listen, man. We need that footage because this don't smell right, bro. This thing stinks. We need that footage now. I mean, they probably just wanting us to just believe this new narrative and just let it go. We need to see that body cam footage. Somebody wanted that man dead and they killed him on his birthday. Come on, man. Matter of fact, that could be a reason why he ran is because he felt his life was in danger. I've seen videos of dudes literally running for their life because the police was trying to kill him. Real life stories. I've seen dudes get pulled over in cars and police had guns drawn. Dude got nervous and sped off. Felt his life was in danger. He was like, yo, man, police had guns drawn, man. You know what it is? Have you ever had anybody put a gun in your face, bro? Have any of you ever had a gun pointed at you point blank range? Put a 1 in the chat. You know what that feels like? You know what that feels like when you're looking down that barrel? It don't feel good, man. Because at any given moment, something could go wrong and you end up dead. I had that done to me multiple times. Especially in my teenage years. Playing around with friends. You know what I'm saying? Had one dude in the old hood. I was a teenager and went to go cut some other cat hair. He saw me with a chain. Dude pulled out a Uzi, pointed it right at me. Was like, yo, let me get that chain, dog. I'm looking at this dude like, bro, we in the same hood. You trying to rob my chain, bro? And the cat that I was cutting, he was like, yo, bro, yo, chill, dog. How you gonna try to front on the barber, bro? You know what I mean? So to have a gun pointed at you, you're not going to sit there and argue. It's either you're going to give up your bread, chain, or you're going to run. You ain't going to sit there and argue with a gun. Right? So he probably ran because the cops was shooting already. Cops probably was shooting. He's like, you know what? I'm out. Because her story was so severe, any cop that pull up on the scene is going to have their gun out. So they probably killed him at first, and then they found out that they got it wrong. And it was already too late. The damage was done. Now they had to clean this up. And they probably worked with everybody to clean this up in hopes that nobody won't riot, march, tear the city up. You never know what goes on, bro. You know? She lied on the phone call, though. She never said she was in a trafficking ring. She never said that. She said that maybe that's what he's involved in. She never said, hey, I'm in danger. It's me. I'm at such and such house. She was calling for the house he was at. So wherever she wasn't there. It's just bad all around, man. You know? But anyway, y'all, we're going to get up on out of here, man. I'm going to do more content on this story. Break this thing down. You know? Yeah, how did cops get inside the crib? Yeah. I know they didn't knock the door. Again, we need to see that footage, the body cam. We need that body cam footage, man. If the police, listen, if they don't release the body cam footage, then the cops may have shot the dude, bro. I'm just saying. For speculation purposes, it would imply that they did it. And they just covered up the story. Because I just can't see a dude running from the police, jump over a fence, and then he get impaled on a fence somewhere. I just don't see that. Now, the only way that can happen is if he jumped one fence and then on his landing fell on another fence. That has happened to people. I've seen people get impaled by jumping fences that when they jump one fence, there was another fence below. And they got literally, it was a nasty sight to see. Where someone literally have the fence coming through their wrist area, their forearm, and literally they had to literally cut the fence and keep it in their arm and take them to the hospital with the metal in their arm. They can't take it out right there. They have to cut the damn fence and put them inside the ambulance with the fence, part of the fence on them. And probably put them to sleep in order to get that thing out of their arm. I've seen people take their own life by jumping off a roof and got impaled on a fence. Brutal stuff. The worst thing I ever seen when I was on the 9 to 5 was this Asian woman jumped off the building at Rutgers Houses in Lower Manhattan in New York. Jumped off Rutgers Houses. Look it up. Think I'm lying? I worked there. I saw when she was coming down and landed right on top of the community center for the kids. Boom. Body splattered on that rooftop. Took her own life. It's crazy. Look it up. You'll find it. Just look it up. Woman commits S-word, Rutgers Houses, New York City. It'll pop up. I was there at work. Had some other dude at Brownsville Houses, but he was he had some mental issues, and the camera shows him going up to the roof. In one of them buildings, there was a camera, and you see him going up to the roof. He jumped off and was impaled on the gate. Look it up. That's another story. Think I'm lying? Look it up. I was there. I don't know what it is about the projects, bro, but people be jumping off the roof. They just get tired. They jump off the roof, bro. I don't know what they be doing, bro. You know? But anyway, y'all, we gonna get up on out of here, man. It is what it is. We'll be back more. We'll talk about more of this story later on in the morning, afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me give a few shout outs on this Cash App. Let me see. Make sure you hit that like button too, fam. We need to get these likes up. YouTube be playing around with the content and playing these games, bro. I'm tired of these games they be doing, bro. Y'all gotta really hit that like button, man. Show them that y'all support and watch Ringo TV, because they be on some BS, bro. Literally trying to suppress a brother's content. Shout out to Marilyn twice for the Cash App support. Shout out to Pat for the support on the Cash App, for the $50 support. Said I'm a channel member. Enjoy your day. Day was good. Did a lot of work. I noticed that you gave that Cash App earlier. Day was good. Took care of a lot of different work. And yeah, everything was good. Shout out to V-Dub Man, Sheila, Corey, for their support. I think I shouted them out though. Not sure if I did. Well, we're going to talk more about this, man. And salute to Sean the Navigator in the building, moderator. Yeah, that guy on that other channel, he follows me around. Everything I do, he do. I mean, y'all all got to realize this, guys. Anytime I do a video about anything, that man come right behind watching everything I do. It's just, this is why I'm switching up into other avenues and other forms of content that these copycat people can't do. That's why I keep saying everybody's a reaction channel now. You don't notice that? Everybody doing reaction videos. Like, the shit is going to be played out. Like, literally, sooner or later, man, people are going to only watch certain YouTubers when it comes to reaction videos, and they're going to turn everybody else off because they realize that everybody just copying the next person. It's like, okay, if he's doing a video about this, let me jump on board so I could get me some views. It's like, it's not new because they're all copying me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just crazy. That's why I'm going to get into more like acting and reality shows and different things that requires creativity, something that nobody can mimic or copy. You know what I'm saying? Because you would have to be talented to actually do it. Anybody could go on YouTube and regurgitate my talking points and try to break things down. I mean, it's just pathetic. It's like if I'm on now at one something and another clown comes on at the same time, that person is literally watching me. You know, it make no sense. It's crazy, man. That's why it's up to you folks that watch the content to actually know who's the real from who's fake. Once you know who's real and who's fake, you just shut all these other people off and don't even watch their garbage, man, because all they do is watch me. You know? I do the best breakdowns on YouTube when it comes to anything reactionary. You know what I mean? Hence the name Ringo TV Reactions. I mean, it's in the name, bro. Right? So we're going to get up on out of here, guys. Y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's get these likes to 1,000. Share the videos. You know what I mean? We need y'all to share the content, man. Tell people about the platform. Don't just watch one time. Share the content. Tell people on the job, yo, tune into Ringo TV, man. Yo, he be doing his thing. You know? That's how we get the word out, man. That's how people know about the platform. Right? So it is what it is, man. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Y'all drive safe if you're on the road driving. Shout out to all the truckers out there doing their job. Everybody out there doing their thing. People on the graveyard shift. You know? So it is what it is, man. I'm going to do some other videos and you're going to see that very same content creator going to copy everything I do. Watch. I need y'all to watch that, man. Like, really, you got to peep how this work, bro. Like, anything I do, you're going to see that ninja do the same thing. And you're going to see him sound like me, mimic like me, try to talk like me. He'll even say stuff like, to add insult to injury. Dude, you copying me. I would feel stupid as hell to know that every time another YouTuber do content, I'm over here trying to mimic everything he do. It's just sad, bro. Some dudes don't got no original thought. You know? This is crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy, man. Anyway, man, y'all take care, man. Ringo TV reactions, bro. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Catch y'all in the next video. I'm out of here. Y'all take care. Be safe. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.